All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to kind of our opening call for Kansas City for 2023. Um, we're pretty excited about everything that's going on at Creekside and everything that's going on at United. But, first of all, just wanted to say thank you for everything that everyone did at Creekside and in Kansas City there in 2022. More than 3,000 games between spring, summer, and fall. And congratulations to Josh and all of you. I think we were probably somewhere around less than one handful of one umpire games over there. So everybody really pitched in to get everything done, get everything covered. I know some of those spring weekends can be a real bear. So congrats to Josh for his work getting that done, and then also to all of you. I'm sure there were weekends where you were helping do favors and just to pitch in for the team and get everything done. So we're really thankful for that across the board. At United and at Creekside and all that you do, it's we're building camaraderie. I know for some of you it's an extra car payment and it's an extra college payment. It's a great time to be out there. It's good laughs. It's making family with all of the people that you're working with. So we're happy to be a part of it, and thank you so much for again all that you do. We had so many promotions across United to whatever the next level is for a particular umpire. If it means that you made it to the high school state playoffs or a little league regional round or advanced into college baseball. I know that through Creekside and through a lot of the stuff that Josh has done to help you guys and all of the different people at Creekside who have been there to help all of you. We're really proud of the fact that many of you have had the opportunity to work hard and then advance through Creekside and into different programs. So again, congratulations. We're very lucky across the brand and really at Creekside, especially, to have a great relationship with our partners at Prep Baseball Report tournaments. The relationships that Josh has built and all of you have built with the staff there, with the leadership there. It's something that doesn't always happen in travel baseball. And believe me, it's not always perfect. We know that it's not perfect on our end. It's not perfect on their end. But to be able to have dialogue and always look to improve, always have someone who's willing to listen to you and create a situation that's better for baseball, better for umpires, and better for the facility. So we're really lucky to have partners like that. And, I certainly wanted to thank PBRT for that. Moving into 2023 here, just in terms of a vision, I don't think we change too much. We're going to continue to do what we do, which is put strong umpiring crews together, start to help and train umpires, and continue to cover everything that's going on at Creekside. And I would say that I walked onto Creekside's grounds probably for the first time in May or June of 2020 after we came out of COVID, and about a week later probably met Josh, and Josh really took the reins from there, and over the last couple of years really has run that place, and I'm so thankful for him. But I also, with Todd in the president role now and the role that I'm in, we certainly want to put more of a focus on getting out to Creekside. And I know Todd's going to be spending some more time there, and I hope to spend some more time there this summer. So to that end, I am right up front going to announce that the first weekend in August, which is our last weekend of play in Kansas City, we are going to run a United clinic in Kansas City for the first time probably since June 2020, and we're gonna hit a little bit of a special segment of the market with our clinic. I think we're very lucky in Kansas City that Chris Koski comes in and runs his 4 umpire camp, and Jason Blackburn runs his 2 umpire camp, and John Brower, who was on the call, who you hear from in a little bit, runs his 3 umpire camp. And I think what we want to add is something that all of you have probably seen from afar, but we haven't brought it to KC yet. And that is, we're going to do some 3 umpire, 2 umpire work, but we're going to do an emphasis or have an emphasis on our strike zone work and our laser plate work. And I think I think it's important at a facility to have some balance in terms of clinics. And I think there are so many great people running clinics at our facility here that we want to add yet another aspect there. So that's kind of on the horizon for 2023. Before we get too far into the program, I know we have Rhett Goodmiller with us tonight from PBRT, and he's a great friend, a great leader at Creekside, and is always a big supporter of all the umpires. So I just want to give Rhett a couple minutes to share his thoughts on everything that's gone on, and maybe give us a hint at what's going on into the future in Kansas City.
Hey, Alex, thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to be on here. We are definitely excited about this upcoming year at Creekside and in Kansas City. I'll just start off with saying I'm very appreciative of everyone on this call, all the hard work that you guys have put in at the facility, put into the games. You guys are the best out there, best in the business, and we really appreciate the long hours, the long days, the long weekends, the extra effort that you guys put in. I truly believe our partnership right now with United is stronger than ever, with the leadership of Alex and Todd and then definitely Josh there on the ground. So I want to say first that our success that we are having and have had the past couple years and what we plan to do into the future here would not be possible without each one of you guys and United. So I believe in some other areas or markets, the umpires go overlooked, but I want to make sure that you guys understand you guys are a top priority for our business, and we would not be able to do anything without you guys. So that first and foremost, and then just second, I wanted to highlight our staff. Ty White in 2023 will continue to lead all of our operations out there. He's done a tremendous job continuing to elevate what we are doing, and so excited about Ty there, and we've hired another number 2 out there. We brought Chris Gorman back here to Indianapolis to lead our bullpen tournaments, a new role here in Indianapolis. So we've had another hire there at Creekside, and I'm excited to get Jaron going out there. I'm sure you guys will meet him as well. So really excited heading into 2023. Right now, the months of June and July. So we will ramp up our 14U and up baseball starting in June. The month of June and July are currently sold out right now. So we have wait lists forming, and we're really excited about the direction in some of those weekends in June and July. Right now in the springtime, we currently have 6 weekends in the springtime that are sold out. We have a handful of other ones that are close to being sold out, hopefully here in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But we are definitely excited to kick the season off here at the end of March. We believe it's going to be a very exciting 2023, but we also have some things on the horizon here coming in 2024 that we are we're really excited about. So can't get into that right now, but definitely with what Josh and our team and just what we've been able to do collectively as a group and as a whole has kind of laid the foundation for what is to come. So I am definitely excited. Like I said, earlier, and I'll echo what Alex said. I really don't think, too much will change in 2023 from an operations standpoint. I think A lot of the feedback, just what we saw with being able to cover games with two men on the field, only having, one man for, a handful of games, maybe 4 or 5 games, was extremely impressive with, just some of the tournaments that we're running and the size. And so, a lot of the feedback has been very impressed with the umpiring on the field, the professionalism and the way that, we all carry ourselves. So hope to continue that in 2023. Again, I appreciate the time on here tonight. Look forward to being out there in Kansas City. It's one of my favorite spots to be, to watch a tournament, to observe, to be a part of what you guys are all doing out there. So look forward to meeting you guys, this spring and summer. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Rhett. Good to hear from you, man. And I'll see you soon. And I know these guys will see you out at Creekside before long. So thanks for coming on, and always to you guys, thanks for being great partners. Couldn't do it without you. So kind of moving on into the call, you're going to hear from probably 5 or so people tonight. Some people that you know well, some people that you may not know as well. Todd is our president at United Travel Umpires. He oversees the 3 facilities and moving into the 4th facility now up in Cortland, New York. Obviously, all of you know Josh at this point, from the standpoint of being the boots on the ground in Kansas City, and really kind of one of our lieutenants and big in our leadership team across the board at all of United. We're lucky tonight to have John Brower with us. John Brower is someone that many of you know from seeing at Creekside, also from his camps in the area, and all the things he's done for umpiring here in the Kansas City area and across the Midwest. So it's great to have John with us tonight. You'll also hear from our director of training, Brian DeBrouwer, who has made a short video for all of us across all 3 calls. And Nobu will be with us tonight also to talk a little bit about recruiting. But I want to open up tonight really with John Brower. I want to hear a little bit about what his expectations are at Creekside, and how he uses that facility and his relationship with United to, field his staff of college baseball umpires.
Thank you, Alex. For those of you that are new to United, I want to welcome you, but you're in for a real treat. You're going to get treated like you've never been treated before. I said it several years ago, quite a few years ago now. They have changed and continue to change the culture of umpiring in Kansas City. And you guys will really experience treatment and facilities like you've never been treated to before. Josh wanted me to talk about expectations. Everything that I do during the college season is at the Division II level, and I'm always looking for umpires. And I come out to Creekside quite frequently, hopefully a little bit more than this coming year than last year. But I've got about 10 points that I'd like to go over real quickly. I won't take up a lot of time. It all starts with being a good person. I don't care what level you're at. And some of you have heard me say this probably to nauseum, but I just believe that's where umpiring starts. It's easier to be a good person than a good umpire. And I always ask the question, being a good person is a choice. Being a good umpire takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Like I said, regardless of what level you're at or what level you want to get to. So you can wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be a good person. Or you can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to be a real ass today. And see which one gets you farther. So I suggest the first. Number 2 is the knowledge of the 3-man system. I really feel that it takes about 300 games to start to feel comfortable with the 3-man system. And the question I'm always asked is, how do I get 300 games or 100 games out of it? Well, you work fall ball, you work for free. You might even work summer ball, jump on a field. Years ago, when I broke in, back when Moby Dick was a guppy, we didn't get paid for fall ball. Now everybody won't even go do fall ball at the college level without getting paid. So you sometimes just have to work for free. Work for Dan Key in the KCAC. His conference games are 3-man. If you really want to progress, you can find a way. Know the rules, but also know how to use common sense. One of the things that I've found with less experienced umpires, younger umpires, today's younger people, I don't want to group everybody together, but sometimes it's a black and white situation. Use common sense. I'm kind of battling that with some young staff members right now. But knowing the rules is a great start. How do you get on one of my staffs? Be better than the lowest ranked umpire. Now, I know that many umpires will disagree with my evaluations because everybody has a perceived ability level of themselves. Unfortunately, until I'm no longer the D2 coordinator in the Midwest and Mideast, my territory goes from Indianapolis, Indiana to Hays, Kansas to Oklahoma City to the Missouri-Iowa line. Until I'm gone, that's the opinion that counts. So keep your arbiter and RefQuest calendars up to date. I don't care what level you're doing. Keep it up to date. If I send somebody a game and they show available, I expect them to take that game. I know that if the D1 assigner sent out games and he won't get any declines. Well, I expect the exact same courtesy. I think Josh Nolen should get the same courtesy. I think Derek Wishfield should get the same courtesy. If you show available and you get a game sent, you need to accept it. Don't forget where you came from. I say something that kind of rings true, but be careful the toes you step on the way up the ladder, because they might be connected to the ass you have to kiss on the way down. If you're a D1 umpire working at a D2 game, I expect the same focus and intensity as on the D1 field. The same with D2 working NAI working JUCO working high school. It doesn't matter what level you're working. The game deserves 100% of your effort. Be the guy everybody wants to work with. A very, very close friend of mine told me this, probably 15, 18 years ago now. And it has so much meaning. You don't have to be the greatest umpire in the world to have everybody want to work with you. Some things to remember. Every pitch is important to somebody, regardless of what level you're working. Even bad baseball deserves good umpiring. If you're on the last game of the weekend and little Johnny hadn't gotten to the bat and it's 15-0, and he comes up to bat and your zone is bigger than the state of Kansas because you want to go home, who'd you cheat besides little Johnny? You threw your integrity out the window. And if you don't have integrity, it's going to be tough. Respect the game. The last thing I'm going to say is you never know who's watching. I've already been to 3 college fields this year, and the umpires had no idea. I found out at the last minute. I didn't even know until I got there who was working, but it was very valuable. One of the fields, I was on my way to a D2 field about 100 miles south of here. I live in South Kansas City, and I saw a couple umpires and had some information for them, and then I went on to my my D2 game. So, really, guys, that's all I have. I plan on being at Creekside as much as my schedule permits. I'm always available. I never not call. I always answer my text messages, my emails. If I can do anything for any of the United umpires, please let me know. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, John. It's always great to see you, and thank you for all your support. You know, Josh and I and Todd and everybody couldn't do it without you. So we really appreciate it. And it's in a number of ways that many of you can't even imagine how much support we get from John. So we're so happy to have him at Creekside and just as someone to bounce ideas off of all the time. So thanks again. Nobu, you ready to roll, buddy? You're on it.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Hi, everyone. I think almost, if not all of you, know me already, but my name is Nobu Goto. I deal with new membership here with United across the board, in addition to my responsibilities in our northern New Jersey markets. Just want to talk a little bit. I don't have too much about kind of how much we all play a part in continuing to bring in new talent, new umpires into our family, as well as making sure that we're retaining umpires as well. I think we have something really special going on at all of our facilities, but especially Creekside, where it's really the last few years, it's turned into a mecca for umpire education, and I think that's something that's really special we have going on in our community. Like having someone like John Brower stopping by whenever he can is something that should be celebrated, and I think that should make umpires want to come to Creekside and come and work. Josh is really, really good about dealing with umpires on a case-by-case basis and accommodating them throughout their needs. And I think it's really important for all of us as individuals to kind of spread that message. You know, at Creekside, we're not really at a point where we've trained much umpires that haven't done it before. A lot of our new membership has come more of people that have worked elsewhere that make the trip in, either from St. Louis or other parts of the Midwest, and come and work at Creekside. And we found that a lot of people that come by on a whim the first time like to stay. And just being in this role for a little bit now, and you know, we've had some quantitative data on where we're getting our new members and umpires, and kind of how we're reaching out to them. Guys, ultimately, our best recruiter of a new umpire is another umpire. You know, I can, me or Alex or anyone can put as many flyers and whatnot on social media, but ultimately the word of an umpire, a guy who has their boots on the ground, that is grinding out those 4, 5, 6 games a day, if they're the ones saying like, hey, this is the place where you want to work, they take care of me, that credibility right there is second to none. And I think if you feel that way, if you feel that United has done a good thing for you, has advanced your career like it has for a lot of us here, including my own, it's imperative on us to kind of spread that word and tell people that, you know, doing the week here at Creekside or anywhere else has really helped my career out. And it's really important to spread that word. And also for those who are, you know, coming in, someone you've never seen in the locker room before, just make sure we're taking care of them, making sure they feel like they're included as part of our United family, and they're putting them in an environment where they'll want to reach back out to Josh at the end of the week and say, hey, sign me back up for another week, another 2 weeks, or a weekend and whatnot, because I want to come back to Creekside and work. This is part of the community. You know, I know there's some good barbecue spots in the area. Make sure we're inviting people out, just taking care of the little things that makes umpiring special. And I think that'll really help our program out, not only at Creekside, but everywhere else. That's all I really got. I'll kick it back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Nobu. Nobu does a great job kind of filtering through a lot of interest that we get, whether it be anywhere in the country, and kind of pushing it down to Josh and Derek and Wilson and Todd to get us some new recruits. So we appreciate it, and always good to hear from you, Nobu. Jim, I think we are going to hear from Brian now. Brian DeBrouwer is our director of training, and he's made a video for us a few minutes tonight just to talk about a couple different things as he saw it in 2022 and moving into 2023. While Jim's doing that, I'm going to yap about one thing here from 2022, just as it relates to financials. For those of you who might be looking for a 1099, if you haven't realized kind of what went down yet, Arbiter took over all of the 1099ing for all of the payments that they make. So when you log into Arbiter and click on payments, you will basically see one 1099 now. So if United paid you $4,000 and this college paid you $250 and that high school paid you $270, it's all going to be in one 1099. Now within that system, you can see the breakdown, but just understand you're going to get a 1099 that has the Arbiter EIN on it, not necessarily the DYJ or United Travel Umpires EIN. So I hope that clears up any confusion for anybody who was looking for that.
Okay, I'm ready now, Alex. I got a little technical glitch I had to get rid of.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Hey everyone, Brian DeBrouwer here. Glad to have a few minutes of your time to talk about some training related items heading into the 2023 United travel season. A couple things that we'll touch on tonight. Our instructional content library. Dealing with fans, as we know, is a big problem in the travel baseball world, and owning your improvements. Let's dive right in. First off, our instructional content library. And what we've done is cataloged all of the topics from the off-season workshop videos and given those to you in a Google Doc. And our hope is that you'll use this to help not only yourself, but also your partners and your local organizations that you may be a part of. So this is going to be a doc with a hyperlink that goes directly to each chapter of those YouTube videos. That document can be accessed through this link. We'll put that in the chat right now so that you can go take a look. And we also suggest that you visit United Umpires on YouTube. This is where our off-season workshop videos live, as well as a lot of other training content that we've produced over the years. But this catalog looks something like this. So if you follow that hyperlink, you'll be brought to a Google Doc that looks like this. And each of those timestamps on the left is a hyperlink directly to that topic. So if you are having some trouble with check swings, or you feel like you're not managing your indicator or the baseballs or your mask, go to this sheet and take a look at that section of the video. And the idea here is these videos are, somewhere between 90 and 120 minutes, and expecting our umpires to sort through that to find the topic that applies to the given situation is tough. So this allows you to scroll through one document and check out all those topics. So talking about dealing with fans, this is one of the things in the travel baseball world that can become really problematic and drive some umpires away, and we don't want that for you. So how can we do a better job of dealing with fans? Well, let's set ourselves up for success with a really good first impression. And when I go and watch umpires work travel baseball games, the ones who really succeed walk on the field and immediately try to kind of make a good first impression with people, being a servant of the game, making them feel like we're there to serve the game is always a good thing, versus the ones who have trouble with fans walk out onto the field with bravado. And bravado is a thing that we use to reinforce our confidence. Unfortunately, bravado really negatively affects all the people around us. So if you find yourself walking out on the field with your chest puffed out, telling everyone that you're in charge, maybe try a different tactic and see if that helps you to have more positive interactions with the people around you. So when the fans do start acting silly, which we know they're going to do, if it's appropriate, we think using the coach as a first step is a really good way to try to kind of gently point things back in the right direction. So use that coach that, if you can find time in between innings to say, hey, coach, I want to focus on this game, but your fans are really getting out of control. If you could help me with that, I'd appreciate it. And in those interactions with coaches, we want to create win-win situations. So the wrong way to handle this is the fans behind you are yelling and you turn and yell at the coach and tell him to get his fans under control, because now you've pushed that coach into a corner where he's got to decide, does he do what the umpire wants or does he do what his fans want? And guess what? His fans are paying his salary. And so if you push them into a corner where they have to pick who they're going to decide to support, they're not going to pick us. So we've got to create win-win situations by handling that in a very tactful way, and that's usually done kind of during some downtime when we can get their ear away from the fans. And then once we progress to the issue with a fan being beyond the control of the coach, or if it goes directly from 0 to 100 right away, we want to get the site staff involved immediately. Okay, so whether that means turning around and asking for baseballs, and then when the site, the quad manager comes down, letting them know, hey, I'm having some problems with these particular fans. If you could help me out, that'd be great. Whatever means you need to get the site staff involved, do that as quickly as possible so that you can go back to focusing on the game. We don't want you as our on-field officials focusing on the fans. And kind of a guiding principle for these situations is to really detach your pride from them. And believe me when I say it's really hard to suffer fools. That's something that I've struggled with for a lot of my umpiring career. When you have stupidity from fans surrounding you, you want to prove them wrong, right? Our pride guides us to try to prove people wrong. But again, that doesn't create a win-win situation. And now you have stupidity from the fans and pride from the umpires clashing, and everybody's going to end up being mad at each other at the end of it. So if we can try to detach our pride from these situations and realize that trying to prove these fans wrong is just not going to happen, go directly to that site rep, get them involved, and then go back to officiating the game. And you'll have a much more positive experience, we hope. So, last topic is owning your improvement. We certainly are proud of having really good people that surround you as umpires. Derek, Josh, and the Marlers just do an outstanding job of helping the umpires that are underneath them. But you, as an umpire, have to own your improvement. What do we mean by that? The bare minimum of this is asking your partner after a game, what do you have for me? Okay. If you find that you're not asking this question, take a look at whether you're really owning your improvement. So what do you have for me is the bare minimum here. What's a better way we can do this? A better way is asking your partner a specific question. How do you think I did with X? Whatever that is, whether that's the low pitch, my rotations, my demeanor, my signals. Ask specific questions of your partners, and then they will be forced to give you specific answers. So it's really easy when you say, what do you have for me, for your partner to go, no, I thought you did a good job. But when you ask them a specific question, very often they'll have something that they observed from your game. And then the best way to approach this is before the game, saying to your partner, hey, I'm working on this. I'm working on getting set on time, or the outside pitch. I'm working on this. Can you let me know throughout the game and afterwards what you think? Now you've primed them to be aware of something that you may be struggling with, and they'll be focused on that. So think about how you can own your improvement and take these steps to make sure that you're getting the most out of your year as a United Travel umpire. And Throughout everything, we want to constantly ask ourselves, how can I serve this game in the best possible way? And if you're doing that, you're going to have a really good year on the field. Thanks again for your time. Have a great season, and please reach out to me if you have any issues or things that I can help you with. Take care.
Thanks, Brian, as always. Appreciate Brian taking the time to do a video. He's been doing that the last couple of years, and there's always something new and interesting he's got to show us. And I know he's definitely going to be coming out in early August to work with all of you on some strike zone stuff and the laser plate, which we're really excited about. So I want to talk a little bit about some nuts and bolts before I turn the remainder of the program over to Josh and Todd, and you can stop listening to me. Registration. So we have some new umpires on the call. We have umpires who have, registered and gotten involved here this spring or winter, spring, and probably through the end of the fall. So we are working in the same registration form that we always have. So if you've been working with us in the last couple of years, you've put together the information in the registration form. We do not need any information from you additionally for the registration form. So as long as you're in Arbiter, you've filled out the registration form at some point, we are good. If you have not filled out the registration form, we'd ask that you please do that so we can get you an Arbiter. And I will say, now that we're on Arbiter Pay, any information there about financial information or anything like that, we do not need. You fill all that out in Arbiter Pay and in Arbiter and Arbiter Pay, and we're blind to it. And this way, everybody's information is secured, and we don't have to worry about having your socials and all that kind of stuff, and everybody gets what they need out of that. So I appreciate it. We will continue to run background checks annually. Pretty much everybody who is on our sheet has consented to that background check. We will consider you continuing to consent if you've already registered, unless you reach out to me and just say, hey, Alex, that doesn't work for me anymore. And then that's obviously kind of a different conversation. But just want to make everybody aware of that as we move here into 2023. We are looking at an increase in rates on our 145s and our 2-hour games here in Kansas City. The 145s are going to 57. The 2 hours are going to 67. So a little bit of a bigger bump on the smaller fields, and we will be up a little bit there. So we're happy to have that increase here at Creekside in 2023. Registration fee or dues or whatever we kind of want to call it, that'll actually be down a little bit this year. We'll go down to 105. We will collect it in the same manner that we've always, or I guess collected for a year now. We will collect $15 a weekend. Obviously at 105, that's capped at 7 weeks. So that's how we will handle registration. I think last year we found that it was a fair way to do it from the standpoint of getting a smaller amount out of each check. And if you weren't there for 7 or 8 weekends, then you just didn't get up to the total, rather than hitting it with one larger fee at once. So and then we will have kind of a moratorium on dues from March 31st to May 22nd. So all the weekends that fall in there, there'll be no dues deductions. That's kind of the busiest time that we are in a situation where we really would like to see people work. There's always openings at those times. There's high school going on, there's college going on. So we try to make it, as advantageous for you to be there as possible. One thing Josh asked me to talk about is the dues and why do we have dues with United? And I'm always happy to answer that question. One thing I will say is that as part of being with United, we carry a liability policy. So, there's part of your dues go to that. So that's number one. You guys are probably the most covered group of umpires in the world between the liability policy that Prep Baseball Report carries, the liability policy that Creekside carries, the one we carry, and then a lot of you probably carry either NASA or ABUA too. So that's always good to have, especially in the tournament space. But all of the things that go on at United are really what the dues goes to take care of. I mean, you're sitting on a phone call with, me, Todd, Josh, a webmaster. We have a director of training. We have a director of marketing. And all of these things go to make United what it is. And, without getting into every little detail of it, that's really what the dues go towards. And then when we're able to do things, some of the money to do events here and there, or if Josh brings something in, those kind of things also go towards that. So I just wanted to touch on that. Josh asked me to. He said he's fielded some questions on that. So again, we're always trying to be transparent, and that's really what it's all about. So I will encourage you, if you were on this call, you kind of saw it on the web or saw it in a place where you jumped on and you're not as familiar with anyone on the call, we'll put Josh's email in the chat here. You'll want to reach out to Josh after you fill out the Google form, just so he can kind of put a name or a story to a registration. But that's really all I have this evening. I'm going to turn the rest of the program over to Todd and Josh to give kind of an overview of some of the operations of Creekside for 2023. And I thank you guys, and Todd and Josh.
Josh, good to see you, buddy.
What's up, dude?
Not much. I'm glad to see that you shaved that crazy stuff off your face.
I don't like it.
Happy to be here with everybody tonight. Excited about 23 for everybody at Creekside. I'm really excited. I'm going to be there the opening weekend, and then we'll be there a few more times during the year. A couple of times in the spring, and then obviously in August I'll be there. Josh has got a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If there's anything I can do to help you, my numbers will be in the chat. My email address is in the chat, and I look forward to seeing y'all all soon. John Brower, bless you. Look forward to seeing you in Florida soon, buddy. Josh, take it away.
All right, guys, girls, umpires, just want to say thank you. Without all of you, my job wouldn't be as easy as it is. Like a lot of things have been mentioned on here, we only had 9 total games worked with only one umpire this year. That's awesome compared to a lot of the other groups that are in Kansas City. Some of the tournaments were canceled on Sundays because they had no umpires at all to fill all their games. They had very few umpires. A lot of tournament groups had multiple games throughout a whole weekend with only one umpire. So if that tells us something, it's that we're doing something right. We've got a great group of umpires. We're like one big happy family for the most part. We get along with each other. We make things work off the field. We have a good time. And I mean, without that, it's the culture. John Brower hinted on it a little bit. We're trying to build a culture, and it's not just me, it's everybody else. Every little thing that you bring to the table adds to that culture, and it really just stirs the pot, and it's like a big, potluck dinner that we have. So thank you. Thank you tremendously. Going forward, I'm going to need your help. We've got a lot of things planned. We've got a lot of unique things coming within the next couple of years. I've got a lot on my plate during the summer, a lot of different opportunities. I took over American Legion on the Missouri side in Kansas City. That's been a 2-year process coming. With that being said, whoever wants to work American Legion on the Missouri side in Kansas City, please text me after this Zoom call or later on. We've got
I've got the opportunity to possibly send 2 umpires to work the American Legion Missouri versus Illinois All-Star game at Busch Stadium. So I'm only going to send umpires that work Legion. If you didn't work any Legion games, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take away from the opportunity of those guys that put in all the work for me over on that side. I've got many offsites with just field here, there. A lot of college coaches rely on me to supply umpires for some of their stuff. We've got the KCCBA. They're not doing league play this year, but they are doing a couple of different tournaments, different couple showcase style things. And they've really trusted me to supply the umpires, and they've really been happy with what we've brought to the table over the last 2 or 3 years. But before I get into 2023, I want to go back to 2022. Some of the successes that we saw were a lot of new umpires on staff. And that's mainly because of everybody that's on staff, because I've got about 3 or 4 guys that brought multiple umpires to me that have really introduced them to me. The word of mouth really travels. Facebook, social media, everything like that really travels all over the place. And, with your help, we get many new umpires, a lot of new staff, a lot of new faces in there. We can train, we can mold, we can put them into the culture and really, make this thing work. Our attitudes, over the last couple of years, our attitudes have just really improved. It's more of a fun atmosphere. We're having fun out there, not a lot of stress going on, just everybody showing up, doing their job and making it work. One success that some of you may laugh at is the shorts. We implemented in June because of PBR. They let us wear shorts whenever the temperature was over 90 degrees. That trend is going to keep on going in 2023. So we've got United shorts that we are going to have you purchase. It's got the United logo. So anytime it's hot, let's wear some shorts, huh? As long as we look pretty in them. I will say that. I saw some legs out there, mainly Nick DiCapo's little chicken legs. So, and nothing going against DiCapo. DiCapo's a good dude. But, I mean, it's just weird things seeing umpires wear shorts. And we got a lot of compliments from parents, coaches, staff. They're really happy to see that we're taking care of our umpires in unique ways. So keep up the good work. Some of the challenges that I saw were more on arbiter end, keeping up with your blocks, keeping up, updating your profile, updating with communication, a little bit of everything, supervisor to partner. If you're going to be late, please contact me or the site supervisor first. That way we can start doing some of the small details. If we need to change around the schedule, if I need to get on the field, if somebody else needs to get on the field, and then contact your partner. That way you two can work it out, because the communication doesn't always go from your partner to us. So we may or may not know if you're going to show up on time. Your partner does, but we don't. And so 5 minutes before game time, it's like, hey, where's Josh? Oh, well, he, 20 minutes ago, he said he was going to be late. Oh, that's cool. Well, please let me know next time. So a lot of the communication, you can't always trust, just the word to get to the right people that it needs to be. Accepting and declining games in a timely manner. For the most part, a lot of people do accept them in a timely manner, very quick, especially during the summer when I'm trying to get the schedules turned around really quick, especially within a week. It makes it a little tough if umpires aren't accepting their games. I know it, I don't want to be that guy to be harping on you guys about staying on top of your emails and arbiter, but it really does help us. If you're not going to accept your games within 2 days, why shouldn't I take you off and replace it with somebody that's going to accept those games and that wants to work? So just accept or decline. If you do decline, hey, you decline games. We'll move it next man up. Ejections. It wasn't a big issue, but we still had ejections. And it was the manner of the ejections that we had. It was more, hey, you're ejected, get out of here. There's a process, give them the ball strike warning, give them, a little bit of a leash, and then eject them, and then get us involved. Don't go guns blazing, get the F out of here, things like that. It just doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work out for you. It puts a bad strain on all of us trying to take care of the people that were ejected. So just go about it, follow your process, and everything's going to be great. The one big thing that I have really noticed over the last year and a half is social media. And it's not anybody in particular. It's just the whole sports official culture in general, football, basketball, baseball, any sport that involves officials. It's really getting bad, especially if you are an official and you're talking really bad on officials. Oh, how can that guy make that call in that game? That's a huge call. For the Super Bowl, for example, there was a holding call, controversial, maybe. The player admitted it. The officials went over, said it was a good call. They would call it again, things like that. If you are an umpire on staff in United or any other staff, John Brower's staff, Sean Bolte, Alex's staff, and you're talking really bad on officials, it makes not only yourself look bad, but us look bad as your boss. So take care of that. Don't go on social media and just blast other officials, because you know what? You could be the one getting blasted right back in return the very next day. If, you're not just making yourself look bad, you're making all of us look bad, especially if you have the United name on you. So just think about it. Social media, it is a place where you can, say your own opinion and go out there and, put pictures of, your family, what you ate for dinner, what you ate for lunch, talk good about people. It is what it is, but just think about that. It's not just about yourself, it's about everybody else. Hats and uniforms for 2023, please start updating uniforms. We had some umpires with, the brown faded pants, the brown shirts. I know, I get it. Long summer, the sun just beats down on everything. But let's start thinking about updating some of our uniforms. I personally like the black with the gray panels, the blue with the black panels, if you do wear it. But if you have some of the older style shirts and you match your partner, we're okay with that. As long as they look good, they're clean, they're not dusty, they're not dirty. We will have hats on site this year. The hats won't be taken out of dues. It's going to be paycheck deducted, $23 per hat, 6-stitch only. We are also going to have umpire shirts on site. We've got a nice little deal with Schmitty that we're going to have some of the black with the gray panels on site if anybody needs a new shirt. We are also going to have the United logo shorts on site. All three of those are going to be paycheck deducted. So think about that. If you forget your shirt at home, you need a new shirt anyway, need a new pair of shorts, they're going to be on site. Clean your uniforms, invest in new stuff. It's imperative. When we walk on a field, people start to notice, oh, well, that guy's pants are dirty, they're wrinkled, little things like that. And they're already, making pre-assumptions about how the umpiring is. Well, if he doesn't want to take care of his uniform, why is he going to, take care of us? Why is he going to do a good job? All he cares about is a paycheck. Things like that. First impression, as soon as you walk in a gate, very, very key. Communication with umpires and leadership. Simple emails, phone calls, detailed message to me, to Todd, to the people that we have on site. One thing that is going to be nothing new, because we had it last year, a lot of different site supervisors. Alex and Todd are letting me work my college schedule, and I can't thank them enough for letting me do that, because it's my passion. I want to umpire as well. So I've got a great group of guys that I trust so far to come in, site supervise for me, do the same job that I have done over the summer, that I trust to get that job done, and that are going to help you get better as an umpire, help you on and off the field. So just email. I will email every Thursday like I did last year, or Friday morning, with who's going to be the supervisor, what their phone number and emails are, how to get a hold of them, and that you should be contacting them first and not me. Just like last year, it's going to be the same type of thing. Get there, I like an hour before. That way the supervisors know that you're going to be there, but things happen, especially on Friday nights with traffic. 5 o'clock starts, makes things tough. But if we can get there on Saturday mornings with the 8 o'clock starts and get the game started 10 minutes prior to a game, that's going to help the flow throughout the day, especially when we've got 7 games a day. It's going to help every umpire coming in the afternoon, help the site supervisors just be able to facilitate everything going on, and really, just help everything involved. If you do need to get a hold of me, Todd, anybody else, me personally, I prefer text, but if you do need to make a phone call, please leave a detailed message if we do not pick up. Just, hey, Josh, this is Dakota, call me back. That's not going to be able to do anything, because it's not going to give me the sense of urgency to, if I've got something else going on, to try to help you out before I give you a call back with the type of answers that you need. So just a detailed message. Hey, Josh, I've got an issue with my 8 o'clock game. My wife, the car broke down. Is there any way you can help me out with something? Is there any way that we have a floater? And that way I can call back the site supervisor, Todd, anybody else can call back, and we can try to help you out as much as possible. If you have any issues and a PBR staff member gives you instructions, follow their instructions as well. I have a good relationship with Ty and the whole Creekside staff, and they usually know what I want, and vice versa. So if they give you some type of instruction, follow them, just listen to them, because they know what's going on. The last thing I have is going to be the arbiter scheduling. I'm going to do the schedule the same way this year. It has worked the past couple of years where I send out an email 2 weeks prior to a tournament, giving you some type of indication on the size of the tournament and what we're kind of looking at as far as offsites go, and what kind of help I may need, what day the tournament starts on, what time it starts on, and things like that. I'll ask for your availability. I'll put an Excel spreadsheet together. I will then create the schedule, put it in Arbiter, send it out usually the weekend before or the Monday before the tournament, and really get it going. It's worked in the past, so why change it? One thing that I have asked for the last couple of years is for every umpire that's on Arbiter to put a profile picture on your profile. Not necessarily for me, but for the new umpires that we have on staff that don't know who you are. For Todd, Alex, Nobu, Brian, if they're coming into town, they can get onto Arbiter and see your picture before they even get in. That way they know who they're really looking for. So just simple, professional looking picture, you, polo shirt, big cheesy smile, please. Also, share your schedule. If you don't know how to do that, go on to Arbiter, send me a text, and I'll be able to work out sharing schedule. That way I can see where you are throughout the spring, throughout the day. That way, maybe if I can get one ball game out of you, I might be able to give you a call. Hey, I see you're over at Lee Summit. Hey, can you make it over here just for a 7 o'clock game? Something like that. Or if there's schedule conflicts, that way I don't book a game and schedule you over something. That it just makes everything so much easier. That also, if somebody is helping me out schedule, it'll let them see where you're at. That way they don't call you, or like a Todd or Alex when they're coming into town. They can also see those schedules. That way they know they can't rely on you on certain days. But again, thank you. 2023 is going to be awesome. A lot of great things coming in. We've got lot of improvements, a lot of changes, a lot of opportunities. So the more umpires that we have on staff, the better. So again, thank you. Todd, anything else from you?
I just wanted to say thank you to you, Josh. All the umpires in Kansas City, if you don't know, you're very lucky. This guy works his rear end off, and I have grown to become friends with him and cherish that time. And and that friendship. And he does such a great job, and he cares so much about each one of y'all. And so be happy with and know that you're very lucky that Josh is there. So I think that's really all we've got. Alex, I see you're still here. If you've got anything, if not, we're going to shut her down and tell everybody to have a good night. Going once, going twice. I think we're done. Everybody, thank y'all very much. We look forward to seeing you in 2023 at Creekside, working for United Umpires. Have a great night.